by. NBC Sports presents the best of college basketball. Today from the horizon, it's the Marquette Warriors against the Blue Demons of DePaul. Today's game is brought to you by Anheuser-Busch St. Louis, Brewers of Michelob. Some things speak for themselves. By Chevrolet, America's on the move, and Chevrolet is supplying the wheels. Chevrolet and you taking charge. By Monroe Shock Absorbers, makers of the Gasmatic, the most advanced shock Monroe has ever made. And by Skoal Bandit, for tobacco pleasure without lighting up, it's a pouch instead of a puff. Plus a sellout. The horizon in Rosemont, Illinois. It's farewell to beloved Ray Meyer, the 70-year-old head coach of the DePaul Blue Demons. After 42 incredible years, one man in one city at one university, one wife. What a story. Ray Meyer says goodbye his final home game as the DePaul Blue Demons meet the Marquette Warriors. And the signs decorating the walls and halls here at the Rosemont wish him well. Dick Enberg with Al McGuire, a very special time. Not only are we going to go through the opening ceremonies, the gifts and so forth that will be given to Coach Meyer, but also at halftime today, the John Wooden Award, college basketball's Player of the Year, will be announced. Coach Wooden himself is here at the Rosemont to make that presentation. Now to Al McGuire, the one man who has a common denominator. Rick Majerus was your assistant at Marquette, and you've gone through all this ceremony of retirement, and you know the pressures that go along with it.
Well, I think, Dick, that the fans will enjoy it more than Ray will. But as the game starts to wear out today, Ray will want the game to go on into infinity. There's something about trying to hold on to this. Ray Meyer is not retiring. He's just changing direction.
You know, I have a feeling if he weren't willing to hand over the reins, as it has already been announced to his son, Joey Meyer, that he's really in the middle of this thing. He might make another announcement. I think I'll change my mind and go another 3 or 4 years. He doesn't look ready to give up the job.
No, he's not ready. I think what's going to happen, if you could put a name on Coach Meyer, it would be that in basketball, he is the Winston Churchill. That later in his life, everything has blossomed. All those years that he was hustling and on minimal budgets and so on, in the last 10 years, wham, another Winston Churchill, the greatness at the end.
Well, let's talk now about the bridegroom at the wedding, the man that no one knows about, Rick Majerus, the 35-year-old first-year coach of Marquette University.
Well, Rick Majerus wants to know what will it take for Ray Meyer to get a technical foul today.
What would it take, a Magnum 45?
I was thinking it'd take a little bit more than that. But Rick wants his team to play well. He knows it's a tremendous audience out there. He also knows that an NIT bid is in the balance. They have 16 wins, 11 losses.
To give you an idea of how long Ray Meyer has been here, if Majerus goes 42 years, he'll retire in the year 2026. We'll be back with more.
Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to center court for the introduction of the 4 graduating seniors from the DePaul Blue Demon basketball team. The first senior to be honored is team manager Darnell Peanut Johnson, an elementary education major, accompanied by his mom. The next honoree is senior guard Raymond McCoy, a social science major, accompanied by his parents. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome senior guard Jack Latner, a finance major, accompanied by his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Johnny Latner.
John Latner, a former Heisman Award winner at Notre Dame, 1953.
Sherry McMillan, a social science major, accompanied by his mother.
McMillan, a 9-point average this year. The left-hander key to DePaul's tourney hopes.
This year's basketball team.
Student manager and the three graduating seniors, Raymond McCoy and Jack Latner, two young men who saw limited duty, and Jerry McMillan with Coach Ray Meyer. Well, this is the kind of day, the nostalgia, Coach, that it calls up. It's like the birth of your first child, a commencement, a retirement. It brings so many thoughts to mind, and there's a man that just must have a wonderful barrel full of very pleasant thoughts.
One of the things I respect about Ray Meyer and his family is that his family is proud of him. You know, so many times in life today, the parents are proud of the children and the grandchildren. But here it's where his sons and daughters and his grandchildren turn around and look at him. In this country, Dick, we got a world of talent in people over 60, 65 years of age. It's a shame they don't use them more.
The 16 grandchildren, the 6 children of Ray and Margaret Mary Delaney was her maiden name. There she is. She was a basketball player. In fact, she won the Chicago City free throw shooting championship, and Ray Meyer coached her. That's how they met. Married back in 1939.
From the athletic department, it is a framed letter of congratulations from President Ronald Reagan. The letter reads as follows. The White House, Washington. Dear Coach Meyer, it is a pleasure for me to join with your many friends and admirers in honoring you on the occasion of your retirement from coaching. During the more than 40 years that you have coached basketball at DePaul University, you have become a legend to your fans and a source of inspiration and guidance to your players. I am pleased to learn that you will remain active in athletic affairs even as you retire from the front lines. I know that your energy and enthusiasm will continue to be a positive influence on young people for many years to come. Nancy and I send you our best wishes for every future success and happiness. Sincerely, Ronald Reagan.
Well, this city's somewhat politically divided, so a mixed reaction initially when it was announced that Mr. Reagan had sent his best wishes.
Athletic Director Ed Mineta are presenting Ray and Marge with the first official University Blazers. Ladies and gentlemen, we present Athletic Director Edward J. Mineta, Jr.
Thank you, everyone. As you all know, today is a very, very special day for all of us who are associated with DePaul University, Coach Meyer, the DePaul community, and all of Chicago and all of the country. As Coach and Mrs. Meyer have received these Blazers today as part of our token appreciation, we want them to wear them and want it to mean something to them as they sit in the stands next year and cheer for us, and will always be a part of DePaul University and always be a part of Chicago, the country, and college basketball. Coach Meyer in his wonderful career has meant so much to everyone, not in just on the basketball floor, but what he has done for the city and the country, the many charities, all the benefits, and the little notes that he sends to everyone who writes him in the United States. Coach Meyer and his wonderful family, 16 grandchildren, 6 children, sisters and daughters-in-law, everyone who is associated with this man and this woman can today stand up and say, 30 years from now, 20 years from now, whenever, I was a part of history and a part of the great history, not only of college basketball, but of the entire sporting world. Now, ladies...
Ray always found difficulty in accepting high praise, but Marge, you could see that chin, how proudly she held it as she heard all these wonderful words about her beloved husband.
You know, Dick, Marge still doesn't want him home for lunch.
Here now the president of the university, John Richardson.
This is a very sad day and a very happy day for DePaul University. Sad because it's the last game that the coach will lead our team here on our home floor. It's a very happy day because Ray leaves behind at DePaul a type of spirit that so symbolizes this university. It's a spirit that stands for the highest moral principles, integrity, and a deep appreciation for the young people of our society. And the marvelous thing about your career, Coach, is that this influence has been nationwide. I'm sure that you stand for integrity for sports people throughout the United States. Any question about the problems with college athletics? Is there any question about the ideals and principles that should guide college athletics? People will continue to look to your leadership for many years. For this, I thank you for DePaul, and I think I can thank you for all the people of our country.
Thank you, Father Richardson. Thank each and every one of you on this day for paying the tribute you have to myself and my family. It's great. I'm very appreciative and very grateful. But I know you came here to watch the game. Let's get on with the ball game.
Well, that's the coach. He's lost 42 pounds this year, and his son Joey finally will get his chance. At 34 years of age, Joey Meyer will be the head coach of DePaul next year.
And now, let's meet today's starting lineup.
Mayor of Washington and the city of Chicago to congratulate Ray Meyer, and now the introduction of the starting lineups.
At forward, 6'6" and a junior, from Long Island City, New York, number 22, Dwayne Johnson.
Johnson, the leading scorer for the Warriors, averaging nearly 14 a game.
Forward is a 6'7" senior from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, number 52, Mark Murata.
Murata, an academic All-American.
At center, 6'10" and a freshman from Coon Rapids, Minnesota, number 54, Tom Kopa. At one guard is a 6-foot junior from Jersey City, New Jersey, number 20, Mandy Johnson. And at the other guard is a 6'6" sophomore from Omaha, Nebraska, number 32, Kerry Trotter. The Warriors coach, a 1970 graduate of Marquette, in his first season, Rick Majerus. And now, let's welcome our Blue Demons. At forward, 6'6" junior, co-captain, Columbia, South Carolina, 23, Hiram Orman. At the other forward is a 6'8" sophomore from LACA, 34, Kevin Holmes. In the middle, he's 6'8", 1/2 inches tall. He's a sophomore. He's from Flint, Michigan. 51, Marty Embry.
Real physical ball player.
And one guard, 6'4", senior, captain, Newark, New Jersey. 14, the Mac Attack, Jerry McMillan. And at the other guard, a 6'2" junior from Queens, New York, number 10, Kenny Patterson. The Blue Demon coach, a 1938 graduate of Notre Dame, in his 42nd season. The Hall of Famer, the coach, Ray Meyer.
And so the ceremonies honoring a truly fine human being. He's a great coach, but what a person to know. And that's why so many people share so much love for that man. And he's now ready to send his team to the court for the final time at home. It's DePaul and Marquette.
Want to clear out a room full of guys in a hurry? Try this. The Shadow from Honda. People want to listen to it. People want to look at it. And everybody wants to ride it. The Shadow from Honda.
Even if you've outgrown it, the memories get in the way.
ABC News, and I'm sure that if Ray Meyer were running for anything in this part of the country, he'd be a landslide winner. Coach, the game itself now, this is a tune-up for the tournament. Obviously, Marquette, maybe a chance to go to the NIT. For DePaul, they're the sentimental choice, but can they make it to the Final Four?
It'd be very, very difficult. They're too soft in the middle. Now, Embry gets mad at me because I called DePaul a donut team. Nothing strong in the middle. Embry's 6'8½". He does handle the 7-footers on the other team. He handled Gray. He handled Patrick Ewing. So he does know how to do it defensively, but offensively, I don't know if they have enough scoring punch on that baseline. One of the things in this game today, Dick, is going to be very sloppy because the kids haven't warmed up after all this ceremony. So their sweat is all dry for the last 10, 15 minutes. So expect the first 4 or 5 minutes to be all thumbs.
DePaul and White first to take the court. Now here comes Marquette. The Blue Demons with Corbin, their leading scorer, Holmes, Embry, McMillan, and Patterson. Their brilliant freshman, Dallas Comegys, second in scoring, will be off the bench quickly. He has a bad wrist, however. 25-2 for DePaul. Marquette, a very successful team at home, 13-3, but only 3-8 on the road. Dwayne Johnson will jump it with Tyrone Corbin. And it comes to DePaul, Kenny Patterson. Embry, Corbin, Patterson, now Patterson again, McMillan. Holmes takes the first shot. Holmes gets his own rebound. Loose ball to Embry, and Murata rebounds for Marquette.
If Marquette's going to stay in the ball game, they can't allow the Blue Demons that many shots inside the paint around the rim. Impossible.
Mandy Johnson to Murata. Dwayne Johnson, leading scorer, inside to the freshman Copa from Minnesota. 2-0 Marquette.
Marquette showing a man-to-man as they penetrate down, then they'll drop into a zone.
Inside and through the hands of Embry, Marquette's ball. The officials today, Big Ten officials, Richard Weiler, Bob Showalter, and Ed Hightower.
Pressure up court.
Kerry Trotter gives it to Mandy Johnson, and Johnson, the point guard, brings it down. 2-0 Marquette, 1 minute into the game. Murata along the baseline is short, gets his own rebound and scores. He's 4-0. Murata, 3 times an academic All-American, A average. We'll give you the rest of that list, the 5-member academic 1984 All-America team later in our game. Oops, traveling, and another turnover as Embry shuffles his feet. So Marquette opens with a 4-0 lead, and Ray Meyer's Demons, indeed, Coach, look a little cold and stiff. They looked tired in practice yesterday, didn't they?
They looked a little slow, but they have a lot of flu running throughout the team. They'll perk up in a little while.
Mandy Johnson to Dwayne Johnson, not related. Turnover. Holmes comes up with it. Kenny Patterson. Jerry McMillan from outside. He's fouled. The basket is good.
He can bottom it out about 12 to 15 feet out on either side of those angles. This is his spot. It looks like Kenny P today is going to be the passer rather than the scorer.
Gary Trotter ticketed with a foul, and McMillan at the line going for the three-point play. McMillan, the only senior that plays any extent at all for DePaul, so the club that Joey Meyer will inherit. Chance for a four-point play as Kevin Holmes ties it at 4-all. Gary Trotter brings it down. He travels. Rick Macheras, 35 years of age, an assistant under Al McGuire and Hank Raymonds at Marquette.
I said earlier, this is Kenny Patterson with the ball now. It seems that when he goes into a ball game, he either looks to score or looks to be a playmaker, quarterback. So far, he's looking to be the quarterback. 2-3 zone, settle back in there.
McMillan from outside again. Rebound Dwayne Johnson, and a foul on Johnson for pushing off.
Obvious push off. He had the rebound. I don't know why he did it. It was just a reflex.
Tied at 4, 2.5 minutes into the game.
Dwayne Johnson, his first, the team's second.
McMillan will play it in from under the basket. Not afraid to put up, and he's got a 6-4 DePaul lead. 4 points for McMillan.
You cannot let McMillan shoot from the left side of the court.
Foul on Tyrone Corbin.
The Demons' common foul is 23.
Corbin, the junior, leading scorer for the Demons.
Andy Johnson's a tough job at Kenny Patterson company.
Hands off.
Wayne Johnson's first shot is short, and it goes over the top of the board to DePaul.
That's a 1-1-3. Will end up a 2-3 after the first pass. Surprisingly, a very quick whistle early part of the game. I looked at it to play more. Because DePaul's a physical team along the baseline, and Marquette's pretty physical, too. One thing you got to remember about Marquette, Dick, in 9 games this year, they only won 1 of them. They lost either in overtime or by 1 goal.
Yeah, it really has been a tough year for Macheras. I mean, you turn some of those around, he's had a great year. Patterson gets the rebound, takes it underneath. Kenny Patterson makes it 8-4 DePaul. That's 8 unanswered points by the Blue Demons. Not there. Rebound Embry. Check that. Kevin Holmes gets the boards. Here's Patterson.
Best playground moves in the business in Patterson. Now he'll put it up. He scored 2 from there already. Going on the left side.
Last touch by Marquette. Macheras, who was cut by Al McGuire as a sophomore candidate for the Marquette team.
I should have cut him as a freshman. I only did him a favor.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen.
They've never had this many newspapermen, photographers covering a DePaul game, well over 200. And the officials moving some of the photographers back. Holmes' shot was short, partially blocked. Mandy Johnson ahead to Dwayne Johnson.
This guy got to get moving, yep. He has to get moving. Marquette's stay in the ball game. DJ is their scoring machine.
8-6. DePaul by 2. More than 4 minutes gone. First half. Stolen by Murata and knocked back by Patterson. He steals and goes the other way. And finally it's Copa with a loose ball.
Numbers aren't there. Pull it back up.
Trotter. Gary Trotter is short. Rebound. Marty Embry. Play a little sloppy here. Early going.
There, hit 2 in a row.
McMillan. Rebound to Patterson. He saves it in the corner. As DePaul looks ahead to the tournament, losing only 2 to Dayton and to St. Joe's, their weaknesses are, and we will certainly chronicle their strengths, their weaknesses are free throw shooting, and they don't really have the consistent outside shooter.
Yeah, so they face zones all year.
Stolen. Corbin had it taken away by Mandy Johnson. It's Johnson all the way, and he's fouled by McMillan. Mandy Johnson, who leads the club in steals with 70, and he picked off one there and will get a couple of free throws for the effort.
Turns the ball over here. Mandy's very quick. Gary Trotter. Now he gets his shoulders in front of McMillan. Looks like he could have maybe got a three-point play out of that. It was a good foul by McMillan. Here's another angle of it. See, McMillan comes on the back of him, catches him, just broke his rhythm, couldn't get the ball up on the glass.
Jim Boylan, who was a guard on your championship team in '77, was the man who sold Mandy Johnson on going to Marquette.
For the Demons, 35, Dallas
Comegys, one of the outstanding freshmen in the country, replacing Kevin Holmes. Comegys, who leads the team in blocks and is second in scoring and rebounding. You see the soft cast on that left wrist. Johnson trying to tie it for Marquette.
Dallas Comegys comes into the game with the gun out of the holster. He'll shoot the first time and the second time he touches the ball. He's a future All-American, no doubt about it. The people in Philadelphia are still crying, wondering how the devil did he end up in Chicago.
Yeah, he wanted to be a part of Ray Meyer's final year, he says. 8-7 DePaul with the lead. Patterson, McMillan working around that zone defense. Corbin, Embry. It's a good active zone, isn't it?
Normally, at the beginning of the games, the zones are active. As the game goes along, they lose their enthusiasm.
McMillan left alone. Rebound, Copa. DePaul had position, but the ball took a long bounce off the rim. 6 minutes into the game. Marquette looking for the lead, but a deflection by Embry.
The numbers are right, Dick. Excuse me. Going all the way.
Comegys has it stolen by Dwayne Johnson, and Patterson returns the favor. Off the Comegys. Having trouble with that bad wrist. But the good wrist is the shooting hand.
He's having trouble handling the ball, but I guarantee the first time he touches the ball, one of the things that Rick Macheras is worried about, hoping that he misses his first shot.
He has the gun out of the holster, right? Dwayne Johnson answers for Marquette. It's 10-9. 13-18 left first half. 4 points for DJ. Stolen by Murata. That's his second. Mandy Johnson for Marquette. Off to Murata. Fine pass. He saves to Trotter. Misses everything. Gary Trotter. DePaul fortunate to still have the lead.
Gary Trotter was surprised he was so open. Put up an air ball. That's 1-1-3. They're faking a man-to-man here. When the pass goes, now they go to the 2-3.
Tyrone Corbin way outside. Saved by Copa for Marquette.
Dick Comegys is having trouble with that wrist. Just fortunately it's not a shooting arm.
Murata against Comegys. Takes it down the alley, and it's 11-10. Marquette leads. 4 points for Murata. working on Dwayne Johnson. Nice move. Tyrone Corbin has his first points. 8 minutes gone. Good move by Dwayne Johnson. Couldn't make the hoop. 3-on-3 to Paul the other way. Patterson with the ball.
Patterson's the coach on the court.
McMillan over Silva. All the way out to Patterson.
McMillan's starting to force it a little bit. He's hitting a dry spell. He's in a drought. He should pull up and wait.
Tony Jackson is at the scorer's table. I have a feeling he's coming in for McMillan. Corbin hits again. It's 14-11. 4 points for Corbin, a junior.
Marquette has to compete on the baseline. Got to get those second shots.
Murata left alone is short. McMillan rebounds for DePaul. 3-point lead for the Blue Demons. Nearly 9 minutes played.
Ball's playing nice and patient. Nice dive by Mandy Johnson that time.
Dual possession. It belongs to Marquette. And with that play, we have a timeout here at the Rosemont Horizon. 17,500 sold out on Ray Meyer's farewell game. His Demons lead by 3.
Something speak for themselves.
One smooth and mellow taste tells you all you need to know. Michelob. Some things speak for themselves.
Sears National Hardware Sale. Save over 50% on this 42-piece Craftsman tool set, now $39.99. This rugged 1/3 horsepower garage door opener, now $50 off. This tough Craftsman hand tool group, all half price. And save on this Craftsman more, now $199.99. You'll find more tough hardware at hard-to-beat prices right now at the National Hardware Sale.
There's more for your life at Sears.
It's just not fair. Pitting one Wilson Sting against 2 top competitors? Comparing Sting's all-graphite performance to the aluminum head in Kinex? Of course the mid-size Sting gave players better control. Of course Sting felt better, played better, did more for their game. Sting simply had an unfair advantage. You wouldn't want that, would you?
Sting by Wilson, keeping you ahead of the game.
Now you gotta go with graphite.
From the expansive spray behind a speeding hydroplane to a hot motorcycle's cloud of dust, it's the fastest show on television. Hop a ride. Speed World takes off March 24th.
Blue Demons have enjoyed it when the red lights are on. 12-0 in nationally televised games, and they're 3-0 this year against Louisville, University of Alabama, Birmingham, and that overtime win against St. John's that we did. Reminder, we'll be having our most valuable player for today's game. We'll announce that in the second half, and of course at halftime we'll have the outstanding player in the country college basketball this year, and John Wooden to make the presentation of the Wooden Award, annually offered by the Los Angeles Athletic Club. DePaul a +2 in the turnover department, but they lead by 3 in the game score. Robert Hall with the ball in for Marquette for the first time. Also Vic Lazzaretti, number 45. And Tony Jackson, number 20 for DePaul, sees his first duty.
DePaul is playing much better defense than they did last year. They have beaten 10 teams that they lost to last year.
Good defense by Comachese, and Lazzaretti called for the turnover. And we have a timeout. 10 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the first half. DePaul University leading rival Marquette by 3.
Chevrolet Caprice Classic, the only full-size car picked last year by Car and Driver magazine as one of the 10 best cars you can buy. Chevrolet Caprice. Compare the deep cushion comfort, the luxury, the ride, the full-sized room. It's an exceptional value. You can spend more for a car, but why in the world would you? Chevrolet! And you.
Bob, we're in the lobby. Hey, listen, we'll meet you out front in 5 minutes. 8 o'clock? I asked for a 7 o'clock wake-up call. What's wrong with this place?
Good morning, Nick St. Nick on the Big 96. 5 minutes past the hour, and if you had to be at work at 8 o'clock, you're late.
Ow, a simple thing like a wake-up call. Thanks, I'm already up. Next time, Ramada, where they know how to take care of business.
Your spouse may know him as Jackie, the handsome young boxer from Search for Tomorrow.
But there'll be no acting inside the ring when Mark Medal battles undefeated Earl Hargrove for the IBF Junior Middleweight Championship on NBC Sports World.
Well, since moving from Alumni Hall, campus of DePaul, and downtown Chicago out here to the suburbs, to Rosemont, they've enjoyed their new residence, 64-3. The only teams to beat DePaul here are Old Dominion, Gonzaga, and UCLA. And they've won, as you saw, 25 in a row.
A lot of pressure up court. Try to turn them over. Not now. Once Kenny P gets the ball.
Patterson, just a junior. Corbin, another junior. As we said, it's going to be a well-stocked pantry for Joey Meyer next year, and they've recruited well. 14-11 DePaul.
Trying to force the outside shot.
Comagese. Nice move. Good vertical leap. He didn't jump into the man. 4 points for Comagese. We're at the midpoint, first half. Lazzaretti right back to Dwayne Johnson. Murata and Jackson fight for it, and Jackson touches it last.
Underneath the board is quite physical. The way DePaul wants to play. They have a long bench where Marquette has a shallow bench. Not too many subs of quality.
Robert Hall into Lazzaretti, back out to Mandy Johnson, who sets up Dwayne Johnson. Nice ball movement by Marquette, 16-13. 6 points for Dwayne Johnson, the leading Marquette scorer on the year. Inside, Holmes can't hit, and the rebound to Murata. Oh, he moves his 6'7", and I don't think he's that tall. Frame around rather well underneath.
He plays hard. He's out of Pittsburgh.
Johnson is short, and followed in by Vic Lazzaretti, whose father Tony played 4 years at the Naval Academy. 2 points for Lazzaretti. It's a 1-point game. DePaul leads.
Trying to pump it inside, force the ball inside. I believe DePaul has to shoot from the outside.
Tony Jackson. Rebound, little Mandy Johnson, the 6-footer, and here comes Marquette with a chance to take the lead. 8.5 minutes remaining first half.
One of the reasons that Marquette might be playing better is this guy, Robert Hall's back on the team. He's been out since February 4th.
Johnson with Comagese, good defense. Lazzaretti gets the rebound.
Allows better rotation at the guard position. They can take that try route every now and then.
Johnson again over Comagese. And he can't hit it again. DePaul maintaining its 1-point lead. Patterson, he's in the passing mode. Corbin can't connect. Tony Jackson saves and traveled in the process. You're right about Patterson. Some games he seems to want to shoot. He's not a bad shooter. And today he's already passed up 3 or 4 15-footers. Obviously wants to dish it off.
Well, he wears one hat or the other. Playmaker or the scorer. I don't think he's capable of holding both down at one time. I don't know why. He's one of the better ball players in the country, I believe. He's almost too quick in certain things that he does. He's a great fan of Isaiah Thomas.
Comagese with a block and another block. 2-on-1. Jackson with Patterson.
You should have given it back, Tony. Come on, give that ball back that time. You had a split. The mistake on that play was Tony should have veered off to the left more and split the defensive man.
And a timeout as DePaul loses a golden opportunity. You see it again.
All right, here's the second block. Dowse blocked the first one. Holm blocks that one. Now, he should have kept the ball alive. Now, kick it back. He should have kicked it back again. Instead of going straight down the middle, if he favored the left-hand side, it would have been an automatic 2 points.
Another DePaul turnover. We'll be back.
Okay, everybody. What do you say we make it Michelob Light for the winners?
Catch you later.
Yeah, it's a whole new game when you're playing for Michelob Light, the rich, smooth taste you can compare to any beer you like.
Michelob Light for the winner. Michelob Light.
A $390 one-way drop-off charge? Nobody mentioned that.
I'm sorry.
We're sorry.
So sorry.
So sorry.
Please accept my apology.
Only National guarantees one-way rentals with unlimited free mileage for only $10 a day more than our regular low rates. Guaranteed. And if we don't deliver, you'll get $50 off your next rental. We give you national attention, and that's the truth.
These are the games America's been waiting for. The battle for #1 in college basketball's most dominant conference, the championship of the ACC, or the fight for supremacy among the giant killers of the Southwest Conference. That's your championship weekend, tomorrow on NBC Sports.
Guard's got to jump the ball. Whoever man is setting the screen, and Vic, if it's your man on this side, or Dwayne, or Mark, back off you, secure the cutter, and then pressure that pass right there. All right? Good job.
Not too much. What he's doing, he's still alternating from a man-to-man face to a zone. And he's trying to cut off the inside game.
Other scores in some very important games played today. The winner in the Metro is Memphis State. All the winners of these tournaments, postseason tournaments, get automatic NCAA bids. Memphis State over Virginia Tech. A big upset semifinals. Duke beats rival North Carolina, the #1 team, taste defeat. New Mexico loses to UTEP. UTEP is the WAC champion. They go to the tournament. Kentucky moves against Auburn, 51-49 for the SEC championship. West Virginia is in the tournament. The Atlantic 10 championship winner over St. Bonaventure.
They had a big upset over Temple yesterday.
And Tulsa beat Creighton in overtime, 70-68, the Missouri Valley title. Here it's 16-15 DePaul, 7.5 minutes remaining. Lazzaretti inside, just does get it to Mandy Johnson, to Murata now. Murata, good rebound. And it won't fall. Out it comes to Tony Jackson. Tough shooting luck for Marquette. Kevin Holm.
Oh, boy, look what I found. Excellent shot.
Normally doesn't shoot from that far out. Has 4 points today.
Gotta get it to Dwayne Johnson.
Lazzaretti.
They play way off Lazzaretti. Rada has to have the ball here with Dwayne Johnson.
Tony Jackson made the defensive play. The ball caroms to Patterson. Jackson at the other end. He earned that with his defensive work, and DePaul has its biggest lead, 5 points.
He gets it going. He's something else, Jackson. He floats over you after a while.
Copa and Trotter, two starters ready to come back in for Marquette.
Dwayne Johnson has to start going to the basket. They got to get him the ball.
This is really a small Marquette team on the floor now. Tallest man is 6'7", and one of the smallest, Robert Hall, the 6-footer from Cleveland, Ohio, has his first hoop. 20-17 the score. 6 minutes left in the half. Holmes gets his own rebound, and it's last touched by Lazzaretti of Marquette. Here comes 32 Trotter and 54 Copa back in for the Warriors. Lazzaretti and Paul will make that Mandy Johnson go out.
Go to a simple 2-3 zone. Again, DePaul trying to hammer the ball inside, go to their strength.
Well, tomorrow we'll have the Atlantic Coast Tournament Championship as Kevin Holmes hits a banker, and it's 22-17, and he is fouled.
Triple turnaround shot here. Kevin Holmes has tremendous body, eats up a lot of space. Copa reacted a little bit slow that time. He's only a freshman. Got to get up off his feet faster than that. He's hesitating.
Kerry Trotter picked up his second foul, and Holmes from Los Angeles, California on the line. He was influenced in coming to DePaul, watching DePaul's success here on NBC against UCLA back in 1979 in the tournament at Provo. 5.5 minutes remaining. 6-point DePaul lead.
Heat quick.
Patterson gets the foul. He didn't think so. His first.
I had some contact there, but extremely quick. I was telling a story earlier about Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas says that he's too quick. He outfakes the defensive man and then doesn't wait for the defensive man to react. And he put the ball behind his back, around the other way, and doesn't allow the defensive man to react. And it charges right into him. Yeah.
Holmes with a gallant try, but it goes out of bounds, and he pins the official in the process. It's Hightower. That was a definite mismatch. Dwayne Johnson will play it in. Well, with Duke beating North Carolina, it'll be Duke against either Wake Forest or Maryland for the Atlantic Coast title tomorrow in Greensboro. We'll be there. Hopa fouled by Holmes. Tyrone Corbin, and that will be Corbin's second. And give us a chance to get a good look at the big freshman, 6'10" Tom Copa. He likes to bang around, so he's earned a couple of nicknames, Rocky and Boom Boom. Two times he was the all-state tight end defensive end in football, but is elected to concentrate on basketball, and thus on to Marquette.
Well, he's a fast learner. He's like every freshman. He's up and down, roller coaster. Has a great game, then a flat game. Cool Rabbits is a tick.
Yeah, we're talking about Copa, as you see, Embry, number 51 for DePaul.
And for the Blue Demons, 14, Jerry McMillan.
Copa hits a couple of free throws, and a big man who shoots them fairly well. Jerry McMillan back in for DePaul. 5 minutes left in the half.
They're trying to keep the ball out of Patterson's hands as much as possible.
Patterson, boy, jumping almost a part of his jump shot release as soon as he starts to bend the knees. 4 points for Patterson.
Match underneath on McMillan.
Robert Hall traveled before taking the shot. Let's go back to Patterson, an unusual, really a quick jumper.
It's between a shot and a throw. Watch. Kind of leans towards it and kind of flips it. All net.
A score from Greensboro, first half. Maryland 33, Wake Forest 20. Maryland leading by 13 against the Deacons.
Well, if there's a sleeper in the NCAA this year, it's Maryland. I hate to play them the first round.
Inside to Holmes, making room. He scores, and he's fouled.
Dwayne Johnson reached in that time. They're starting to pull away. Strictly on physicalness underneath of the Blue Demons. Now watch Dwayne Johnson just reach in, a tickle foul.
So Kevin Holmes will go for the three-point play. Actually, didn't call a foul on Murata, who did commit one. Holmes, who was a 23-foot long jumper and a 6'11" high jumper in high school. And he's having a big game. That's 10 points for him to lead all scores. And DePaul has opened a 9-point advantage. Majerus counters with the return of Mandy Johnson and Lazzaretti. Hall and Copa go out.
It's early to call this, but Marquette should or has to score this time down. Very close to a breakout area, 9 points. You get to that double digit, they'll get to a tight zone to Paul, and Marquette isn't that good from the outside.
Mandy Johnson blocked beautifully by Embry. Patterson will bring it back out. Wouldn't drop for Holmes, but there's Embry. He misses. And last touch by Murata.
I said at the top of the show, the game is going to be decided within 2 or 3 feet from the basket. Marquette has to get more physical. If you give the Blue Demons a second and third shot, it's going to be curtains.
3:39 remaining, first half.
This is Mr. Goodwrench. Did you know that your GM car's engine uses more air than gasoline? For every sip of gas, it takes 15 gulps of air. That's why a clean air filter helps keep you from wasting power or damaging your engine. So let Mr. Goodwrench check your air, fuel, and oil filters. Chances are you'll save gas and money, too.
It's another of Mr. Goodwrench's good ways.
To keep that great GM feeling with genuine GM parts.
Thinking about throwing in the towel? No, think about making it Michelob Light for the winners.
Your serve.
Michelob Light for the winners.
Would Goodwrench really play this hard for a beer? Well, it is Michelob Light, the rich, smooth taste you can compare to any beer you like.
Michelob Light for the winners.
Boy, I need help with my serve.
Tom will help you.
First, to remove the cap.
Michelob Light.
Hit the slopes of Heavenly Valley with gorgeous Susan Anton. Romp in the snow with luscious Morgan Brittany. And cheer on the ski patrollers from Hill Street Blues. John Denver's having a party, and you're invited. Next Saturday.
Got to talk on defense. Let's stay alert on the weak side, too. They're trying to mark Jerry outside. Let's get through a weak side scene.
So Papa says you got to talk on defense. Boy, you hear that right from the junior high school ranks right through to the NBA. You can't be silent and be a good defensive player.
To be successful in any sport, for coach to be successful, they must play defense. They must prefer defense over offense.
And that's not easy to convince a young man who loves to shoot and see that scoreboard light up.
Well, they like statistics. I never allowed the statistics into my locker room. Never allowed them. You can run a statistics sheet and show the kids. I say, get out.
In fact, I asked you today how many games did you win in Marquette, and you have no idea. You couldn't even come within 50.
The trick in coaching is to learn by winning, not by losing. You learn by losing, you're a loser.
DePaul with a 12-4 run in the last 5 minutes, and they have the ball with a 9-point lead. Marquette staying in the zone, and there's a steal by Lazzaretti. And right back a turnover. So Marquette, how many times has that happened in the half? They make the defensive play and give it right back.
Marquette's trying to motor up and down the court. They don't have the equipment for that for a fast break team.
Patterson, that's his spot. Tipped in by Embry.
Embry's an unsung hero.
He was a gravedigger in Flint, Michigan last year, and trying to grab a couple shovelfuls for Marquette with that shot. Let's go back to the tip-in.
How would you like to have Embry working the third shift, the graveyard shift at the graveyard there, and you walked by one evening? You'd certainly be whistling, wouldn't you?
Central High School in Flint, Michigan, where his teammate was Eric Turner, the fine Michigan Wolverine player. Terry Reason in for the first time, replacing Dwayne Johnson. Reason, a good shooter, and Robert Hall also returned.
Terry Reason is a streak shooter. If he hits his first one, he's off to the races.
Turnovers are now even. DePaul building a commanding lead, 30-19.
They're doing it with brute strength on the baseline.
Boy, Embry wanted it. Little Mandy Johnson pulls down the rebound with 2:20 remaining in the half. Terry Reason misses everything. Mandy Johnson ties up Embry. The ball will go to DePaul.
Terry Reason waited a little while. He didn't even wait 8 seconds the first time he touched the ball. He's an excellent shooter, but you got to wait till your body temperature builds up a little bit anyway.
That was a deep free shot, that's for sure. Tom Copa back in for Marquette. McMillan. Rebound Murata. Mandy Johnson 2-on-2. And turnover against Marquette. Too big a hurry.
I think he might be calling palm in that time. That's when you put the ball, your hand on the side of the ball and turn the ball over when you're dribbling. It allows you to change direction in almost 90-degree angle by doing that.
Ooh, McMillan was wide open. Doesn't matter. So is Kevin Holmes. Holmes having a field day. He has a dozen. And it's 32-19 DePaul with 1:23 left in the half.
Warriors have to break this drought they're in. Excellent defense by DePaul. The man-to-man since the opening tap. Here we go up.
Jerry Reason with a good fake. Hits the 15-footer. He's from Fresno, California, Reason.
Probably the only guy on Marquette that has range that can shoot from 20, 22 feet out.
In fact, Reason is a third all-time California high school scorer behind Bill Cartwright, who played at San Francisco, and Clifton Pondexter went to Long Beach. He's also from that Fresno area.
Take it down for one shot if they can. They're happy to go into the locker room 11 points ahead. They prefer to go in 13 ahead. Marquette is losing. They got to come out to a man-to-man. It's up to the defensive team to create play.
If you're behind.
If you're behind, yes. If you're ahead, then you can sit back in a pocket or stamp zone, whatever you want.
Final seconds of the first half. McMillan with 8. Corbin with 6. Patterson, McMillan with 4. Good! And that's the end of the first half. So Jerry McMillan, his 6th point of the half, gives Ray Meyer and DePaul a 13-point lead at the intermission. The score, the Blue Demons 34, the Warriors 21. We'll announce the John Wooden Award, College Most Valuable Player, when we return.
I thought Canon came up with personal cartridge copying just to simplify my business. Why else would they make maintenance as easy as changing a cartridge? But now, Canon's PC-10 and PC-20 are minding everyone's business. Even my dentist has one. He changes copy colors faster than you can say, ah. Canon's PC copiers. Now they're minding everyone's business. Hey, these are mine.
Oh.
We'll use gas.
For information, call toll-free. Canon Personal Cartridge Copying. Plain and simple.
Chevy Tough is taking charge. Moisture and road salt are murder on a pickup, but Tough Chevy S10 comes with built-in corrosion-fighting zinc alloy steel, zinc pro metal, and large quantities of tough galvanized steel to help guard against rust. A whopping 277 square feet. Enough zinc-rich steel to make its own garage. For year-round protection, Chevy S10's got you covered with corrosion-fighting steel. Chevy Tough is taking charge.
You are looking at the most advanced shock absorber that Monroe has ever made. Gasmatic, so advanced that in testing, people preferred the Gasmatic ride 3-to-1 over conventional shocks.
The difference was dramatic in the control, the stability, and the comfort.
A ride so superior, if Gasmatics don't give you the best ride ever, we'll replace them no charge. Monroe Gasmatic shocks and struts for the best ride ever, guaranteed. Introducing the Nighthawk S from Honda. We asked world champion Freddie Spencer to take it for a ride. Because what we find out on the track, you can't find out on the streets. Freddie liked the way it handled, the way it accelerated, the way it stopped. In fact, Freddie liked the Nighthawk S so much, he never brought it back.
Kevin Holmes, the sophomore forward for DePaul, leading all scorers with 12. And the Blue Demons have a 13-point lead over Marquette at the intermission. We'll return in a moment.
Tonight, it's adult education for Mickey. But does the teacher want to give her private lessons? We got it made. Then here comes the judge as Mama and Naomi square up in court with an explosive case on Mama's family. And it's the final showdown between Hollister and the champions.
It's time he was stopped, what?
Tonight on the Yellow Rose.
Be there.
Bluegrass has it, positively has it. Bluegrass has it today.
It's Bluegrass Lincoln Mercury's $300 below invoice sale. Buy a brand new 1984 Renault Alliance or Renault Encore at $300 below invoice and get 11.9% financing too. Buy a new Alliance or Encore at $300 below invoice.
Bluegrass has it, positively has it. Bluegrass has it.
Bluegrass Lincoln Mercury, 4301 Shelbyville Road.
So, a directory's a directory, right? Organized, concise, easy to read, and absolutely the most complete and up-to-date listings available, right? One would like to think so. At Suburban Yellow Pages, we give you names, dates, addresses, times, numbers, entertainment guides, government offices, money-saving coupons, and even a place to get your dog washed.
Is that a fact?
The Suburban Yellow Pages. We deliver. Absolutely. Bankruptcy.
Did you know that you can file bankruptcy?
For free information, call Richard Shapiro Attorney at 587-7000.
Tomorrow, beginning at 2, here on Wave TV3.
It is my pleasure now to introduce another man who left his name in the history of this great game of basketball. The former head coach at UCLA, who is here to make a presentation, one coach to another, John Wooden, the Wizard of Westwood. Now, you fellas, between these two gentlemen, we're looking at about 1,400 college victories. And maybe Coach Ray Meyer. Well, first of all, you should make your formal presentation, Mr. Wooden.
I've already given it to him. I really didn't give it to him. He grabbed it out of my hand. Ray, it's been a long time, since the middle 30s when we first became acquainted, when I was teaching school in South Bend and watched you play for George Keegan at Notre Dame. A lot of water has passed under the bridge since that time. I never thought you'd ever coach here for 42 years. I didn't think any coach could stand it that long, let alone the fans standing a coach for that long. But it's been a long, glorious career for you. And you see today, not that you didn't already know, the great esteem and affection that everyone holds for you in this great city of Chicago. Here's a little something from the Los Angeles Athletic Club that I hope will enable you to enjoy yourself a little bit more, maybe out on the golf course or someplace of that sort. But I want to also say, Ray, whatever happens in the ensuing years, you're going to have a lot to reflect on, and you're going to have Marge right there hitting you on the back, keeping you going all the time, not as if you'd need it. Congratulations and best wishes.
This is Bob Costas back in New York. We'll be returning to Chicago momentarily, but first, with conference tournaments going on around the country, let's get you updated on scores. Kenny Walker's basket at the buzzer gave Kentucky a 51-49 win over Auburn today and the conference championship in the Southeast. In the Western Athletic Championship game, UTEP was a winner at home over New Mexico. 44-38 was the final there. 35 points, 13 rebounds, 6 block shots for Keith Lee. Memphis State, the Metro winner over Virginia Tech, 78-65. Willis Reed's Creighton Blue Jays gave Tulsa a tussle, but the Golden Hurricane goes to 27-3 and wins the Missouri Valley Championship in overtime, 70-68. West Virginia is the winner in the Atlantic 10 against St. Bonaventure, 59-56 the final score for Gail Catlett's Mountaineers. Illinois clinches at least a share of the Big Ten title by defeating Wisconsin easily today, 81-57. Purdue can tie the Illini if they win tomorrow at Minnesota. And the big story of the day thus far, in the semifinals of the ACC tournament at Greensboro, Duke defeated North Carolina 77-75, so the Tar Heels record is now 27-2, and Duke goes into the final of that tournament tomorrow against the Maryland Wake Forest winner. The Terrapins lead Wake Forest at halftime 33-20. You'll see that game at 2 Eastern Time tomorrow on NBC. And now, as our halftime show continues, let's take a look back at some past winners of the John Wooden Award.
1977, UCLA's number 54, forward Marcus Johnson, was the first recipient of the Wooden Award. The 1978 guard Phil Ford of North Carolina edged Butch Lee of Marquette as the top college player of the year. In 1979, it was Indiana State's Larry Bird, the all-everything Sycamore Star. 1980 national champion Louisville's Dr. Dunk, Darrell Griffith. 1981, coast to coast, Danny Ainge of BYU was the surprise winner of the Wooden. And 1982 and 1983, Virginia's Ralph Sampson, the first player to win the award twice. And we at NBC Sports are proud to announce the winner of the 1984 Wooden Award, and we have the Wizard of Westwood himself with us, and the trophy, Duke Llewellyn from the LA Athletic Club, with the 5 symbols. Perhaps you could, as a means of introduction, and before you announce the winner, tell us just what those symbols stand for.
Well, Dick, I wanted the award to go to the well-rounded player, not just the high scorer, but a well-rounded player. So we have 5 different figures. One shows the passer, one the rebounder, one the shooter, one the defensive man, and one the dribbler, trying to get all the aspects we could. I really wanted a 6th one in there. I wanted the center to be showing a player receiving his diploma. I wanted one with a cap and gown on, but we don't have that one. But nevertheless, most of the players that we have won have received their degrees, which makes me very proud. And I'm really proud to...
Don't announce it yet. We want to build a little drama here, okay? We might also add that this particular trophy is on its way from Chicago immediately after the game to the Springfield, Massachusetts, to the Naismith Hall of Fame, where you'll be able to observe that when you go through that wonderful facility. Now let's meet, or at least see, some of the top candidates for the 1984 Wooden Award. Patrick Ewing from Georgetown, Wayman Tisdale, the brilliant sophomore for the Oklahoma Sooners. A top candidate also, Akeem Olajuwon, the dream from Houston. And from the University of North Carolina, Sam Perkins, the senior star, and he's competing actually with a teammate, because another leading candidate is the junior from the Tar Heels, Michael Jordan. And now, Coach, the winner of the 84 award.
Well, Dick, I know the winner of this is a little unhappy right now, but the young man selected as the outstanding college basketball player for 1984 for this award is Michael Jordan from the University of North Carolina.
Well, congratulations to Michael Jordan. The Los Angeles Athletic Club sends a $2,000 scholarship to the University of North Carolina. And Mr. Jordan and Coach Dean Smith will be honored at your annual banquet in Los Angeles on April 4th. By the way, the vote of 1,000 sportscasters and sports writers throughout the country to name Michael Jordan of North Carolina. And we might add that Wayman Tisdale, a sophomore from Oklahoma, was second, but clearly the winner was Jordan.
Yes, he had a clear-cut margin, and those who have seen him play are not particularly surprised. Not that the others aren't worthy candidates, too, but I believe he richly deserves the award this year.
And we might say in closing that Coach John Wooden, winner of 10 national championships at UCLA, will be honored in Seattle at the NCAA Finals as the man of this century in college basketball. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Dick.
Coach John Wooden, and congratulations to the Wooden Award winner, 1984, Michael Jordan. And we'll continue with our festivities from Chicago after these words from your local station.
Hey, ladies, fulfill your fantasies and enter the secret world of men. Surprise your boyfriend.
No.
Your girlfriend, your future in-laws, and your boss. It's a laugh a minute with Dynasty's Joan Collins, Mark Singer, Robert Culp, Lorraine Newman, and Robin Douglas. And Robin Douglas. They're all in Her Life as a Man, Monday.
Nearly a century of outfitting men for every occasion has made Sam Myers tops in formal wear rental and sales. You can depend on Sam Myers to have everything you need and want together and on time, even if you're not. Sam Myers is someone you can look to through the years to provide for that very special occasion. Just ask your dad. Chances are we've already met him at Sam Myers.
At Jim Boer Chevrolet World, everyone's working longer and harder to get ready for you during our great 6-hour sale. This Sunday from noon to 6, you'll get 50% off with all options you choose to go with your brand new Chevrolet car, truck, or van. Sunday noon till 6. Give you just 6 big hours to take advantage of this tremendous offer. We have over 250 cars to sell, and 60 must go Sunday. Meet me here Sunday noon till 6, and I'll personally guarantee you 50% off of all options.
Spring is now. Visit the Home Garden and Flower Show at the Kentucky Fair and Exposition Center, March 8th through the 11th.
Fame, Saturday at 7 on Wave TV 3.
College basketball on Raymeyer Day, brought to you by Chevrolet. America's on the move, and Chevrolet is supplying the wheels. Chevrolet and you taking charge. By Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this. By Sears, where you'll find great values. There's more for your life at Sears. And by Honda Motorcycles and ATC three-wheelers. Honda, follow the leader.
East Point, Maine and Milwaukee both mean something great to these guys.
Nothing sparks like a champion.
Getting ready for the second half. DePaul leading 34-21 out at midcourt. Ceremonies, Bob Weingart, for 38 years, the trainer of the Marquette Warriors, is retiring. 64-year-old Weingart receiving commendation from DePaul University. He was your trainer, was he not?
13 years. Also the trainer in Munich for the track team, the U.S. Olympic team. And just a fine, fine man. They're giving him a dinner on April 13th. I hope there's a lot of do-bills out there. You know, every time I came on to the locker room or the training room downstairs, there was always about 10 or 15 high school kids lined up, and Bob would take care of them for those whole 38 years.
You know, the coaches especially can appreciate the trainers, and we talk about it. They're the confessors. They're the ones who are patting everyone in the back, keeping the muscles loose. But they do so much for any club. I mean, it's a critical ingredient in any successful program, is it not?
A lot of times, Dick, they're the buffer, where you beat them verbally. Not physically, but you're on top of them all the time. And when they go down into the training room, he's kind of the mother confessor.
Yeah. I also saw a broken finger. He said you were mad once and slammed the door and his finger was in. He said, I still got the evidence. On a lighter note, one of Ray Meyer's grandchildren involved in the halftime ceremonies, Patty Starzik. There on the left with the knee bandage. So the Meyer family, granddaughter also having part of the celebration. You see Ray gazing off in the distance as he awaits action in the second half. First half statistics look this way. Neither team shot that well, but Marquette particularly had a bad first 20 minutes, shooting only 1 out of 3, not many free throws, and rebounds of +8 for DePaul.
That's the big difference, Dick, the rebounds. They're getting too many second and third shots. Marquette has to come out with a little bit of a hot streak. Mary Reason will get a hot hand, but if not, it could be taps.
Dwayne Johnson, averaging 14 a game, had only 6 to lead Marquette in the first half, while Kevin Holmes had one of his better games of the year for DePaul. His high for the year, in fact, is 19, and Kevin Holmes had 12 in the first half today, +5 rebounds. Jerry McMillan chipping in with 6. You see the bottom, big Marty Embry, the cookie man. They say he makes all of the goodies for the team, and in fact, they're trying to get him out of the grave digging business. They're looking for a job as a cook at one of the restaurants here in the Loop in Chicago. They say he makes a mean batch of peanut butter cookies.
The Galpin Gourmet. He normally does very good on national TV. The last 6 times he's been on national TV, he scored in double figures. You know, I was saying earlier where he takes on the 7-footers. I forgot to mention Weddington from St. John's.
That's right. 49-40, Maryland in the second half, leading Wake Forest. The winner gets Duke in the Atlantic Coast Conference Tournament Championship game tomorrow, and we'll have that for you 2 o'clock Eastern Time. Some of you will see the Southwest Conference title. Figures to be another Houston-Arkansas matchup in that one. Set to go. Marquette will get the ball first. And as Al said, down by 13, they need somebody with a hot hand. At times, they seem to be their own worst enemy that first half.
Yeah, they're hesitant. DJ, Dwayne Johnson, has to break out.
Andy Johnson, Gary Trotter with Copa, Murata, and Dwayne Johnson for Marquette. Same 5 starting for DePaul. Embry, Holmes, McMillan, Patterson, and Corbin. Murata can't hit. Popa collects the rebound.
DePaul still in there man-to-man. Not as aggressive as the first half.
Patterson near steal. Dwayne Johnson can't hit. Rebound, Kerry Trotter. Kerry Trotter gets, I believe, his first basket of the game. Yes.
Two-three zone by Marquette.
Patterson takes it in and sets up Kevin Holmes. Corbin rebounds and scores. Corbin from Columbia, South Carolina. 81 state champions in high school when Xavier McDaniel of Wichita State was a teammate.
He's taking computer science. He wants to open his own business. He's quite an intelligent young man.
They said it's been a tough week for DePaul, not only because of the illness, but it's the final exams, the quarters. That's for so many schools now. Murata gets the bucket and a foul.
Surprised that ball went in. He kind of dropped his head before he let it go. Watch, he cuts to the right here. There he goes. Now watch him drop his head just before he puts it up. No, I missed it. Sorry. I owe you, Mark.
Well, at the line, Mark Murata. He makes our all shoulders team. You could stack shot glasses on those shoulders.
Like clothes hangers.
36-26. Murata with 7. Marquette pulls within 10 early in the second half. A minute and a half gone. Holmes throws it away. It goes to Marquette. Johnson, off by Patterson. Murata, jump hook and hits Murata. And the DePaul lead is carved to 8. Holmes can't connect and Murata rebounds. So Marquette comes out with the hot hand. Johnson's keeping it under control.
Murata's been the only one all year long that has consistency. Out of Pittsburgh, I got a great ball player out of there once named Maurice Luca.
Popa, the freshman, makes it 36-30. So a 13-point halftime lead is now down to 6.
Time for Kenny P to do his thing.
And a foul on Mandy Johnson. His first.
If you blink, Patterson will go by you.
The Marquette personal was on number 20, Mandy Johnson. His first, the team's first.
Ray Meyer. Wife says his only problem is I wish he had a little more Irish in him. Then he could say no. It goes to DePaul. Now Marquette's Rick Majerus a little happier. His team has gone on a 7-0 spurt here in the second half and back in the game at 36-30.
I'm out of Tuesday night, went to one of our downbeat restaurants. Eat with our hands, kind of sloppy. So we like to go out together.
Embry,
nice try.
Get it to drop, and Murata is there to collect still another rebound. He's closing in on double figures in rebounds.
Be careful, DePaul. You give him Marquette life.
Murata with 7 rebounds. Dwayne Johnson to Popa. Mandy has McMillan. Dwayne with Embry. Dwayne Johnson gets a kind bounce, and it's 36-32, and everything falling for Marquette.
The way the game is, sometimes that rim is like a rain barrel. Everything drops in, and the next time it's like a teacup. Nothing will go in.
And Ray Meyer has called time. He wants to collect his forces. That halftime lead of 34-21 has been reduced to a 4-point game, and we're plenty of time left, 16 minutes.
Chevrolet, thinking twice.
Move
into more celebrity excitement.
Eurosport.
The new front-drive Celebrity Eurosport. Special F41 sports suspension straightens out curves in a car that looks as special as it feels.
Eurosport.
Move into more celebrity. Eurosport. A touch of Europe at a Chevrolet price.
Chevrolet.
And you.
Taking charge.
Shotgun Rapids, Idaho, and Milwaukee. Folks mean something great to these guys. The shotgun means white water at its best. And Milwaukee means beer. Cold, crisp, old Milwaukee beer. And smooth, golden, old Milwaukee Light.
And old Milwaukee.
And old Milwaukee Light.
Taste as great as their name.
You know, guys, it doesn't get any better than this.
Don't you wish everything fit like me? Fit like Lee jeans do. Don't you wish everything fit as well as Lee jeans fit on you?
Lee Comfort Stretch Jeans with Celanese 412 ESP. The only stretch jeans with that terrific Lee fit.
Don't you wish everything fit?
Lee, the brand that fits.
Well, it doesn't look like they're going to get a NCAA bid. Wyoming State College Porcupines, but they're in the spirit of things. Saluting Ray Meyer. You know, that's a school that has the quill to win, the Fighting Porcupines. Meanwhile, Marquette with quite a rally. Coach, 9 low in the last 2 minutes.
Well, unbelievable timeout by Coach Meyer that time. The commercial timeout would have come in about 45 seconds, but the way Marquette was going, the score would have been tied. Excellent call. That's why they called him Coach.
Dwayne Johnson gets the foul, his third.
Dwayne Johnson, his third, team second.
Rick is up off the bench, trying to give verbal assistance
To the officials. Hey, that looks like he might have gone to school watching you there, Coach. Oh, Showalter, the official, looked him back with a cold stare.
We get the ball into Embry now, I believe.
Patterson takes the shot. Embry trying to rebound, and Murata takes it away from him.
But Paul Murata, the king of pain. He either hurts someone else or hurts himself.
He was a leading Rhodes Scholar candidate. He's really the complete person in all these students and an outstanding athlete and leader.
When his brother doesn't do good at school back in Pittsburgh, he asked his mother not to tell Mark because Mark would get mad at him.
Rick Macheras. His team within 4 minutes into the second half. Trotter inside to Copa. He's got the shot. And it's a 2-point lead, 36-34, 11 unanswered points for Marquette.
They say Copa's the next coming of Jerome Whitehead.
8 points for the freshman Copa. Corbin inside Embry. And the foul's on whom? For blocking on Murata.
He didn't get there in time. Good call by the official. They have a replay on that to catch it.
Second foul on Murata, and as you said earlier, Coach, you don't expect many to go against DePaul today.
Yeah, see, he didn't get down. He wasn't in a defensive stance. He had to allow the man to come down after catching the ball.
3 team fouls on Marquette, 1 on DePaul, the second half. Inside Comachese, who's just come into the game for DePaul. And also Tony Jackson with the ball now. 2 subs in for Ray Meyer. Holmes has trouble.
And both the scorers.
Copa made the deflection and makes, Boom Boom showed why he got that nickname as he came up with the ball. And a chance for Marquette to tie.
I can't see anybody in Minnesota being called Boom Boom. Or Rocky. You know, they, what's the name of his hometown again?
Coon Rapids. It's just outside of the Twin Cities.
Yeah, it's a suburb.
In the second half, Marquette 6 for 8 shooting. DePaul only 1 for 6. Have only 1 basket in almost 5 minutes of play. And now the Warriors with a chance to tie.
Let me repeat what I said earlier. In 9 games this year, in overtime or 1 point, Marquette has lost 8 of them.
traveling on Trotter. That's an appropriate call for the name, isn't it? And Ray Meyer eases back. And the crowd does not. They want DePaul to get going.
Jones give them a little trouble. DePaul has to shoot from the outside.
Comiche's traveled.
Doesn't like the way that Cope is playing. Though. If they're playing physical, it's a physical ball game underneath.
Tyrone Corbin dragging the freshman away from a possible scuffle.
That's Murata. Much Cope come over now. Inside, he did catch him with the left arm inside on his belly.
But he had traveled earlier. Foul reaching in on either Jackson or Corbin. Corbin raises his hand.
I believe it was on Jackson, Dick. Maybe they're trying to swing fouls.
The leading personal is on number 20, Tony Jackson.
Tony Jackson's first foul.
Second.
Sometimes you got to be careful. They swing fouls to keep it balanced so no one gets in foul trouble. But on Big Ten officials, you pretty much can't do that. Big Ten officials get paid $300 a game. They finally, the NCAA, have moved up the price for the finals. The official gets $300, the same as a Big Ten guy gets for any normal game they do.
$300. It's really for the honor, isn't it? Hopa can't hit. Comiche's rips down the rebound. Tyrone Corbin. Oh.
Big shot.
8 points for Corbin. That breaks the DePaul drought. Only their second field goal in 6 minutes of this second half. Now the crowd in the game. Traveling on Trotter again.
Corbin got the team going. He had an excellent shot. He's improved his outside shooting since his freshman year, 300%.
Leading by 4. DePaul. The last thing they want to give Ray Meyer as a going-away gift is a loss today. They want to go to 26-2. No one has lost fewer games than that since North Carolina lost its second today.
Magic number is 30 wins. Everybody wants to have 30 wins. The team that has the most 30 wins in one season is Kentucky with 5. UCLA with 4. I forget who's third.
I thought that was pretty good. Come up with those two. Blocked by DJ.
Hey, I know it is. North Carolina with 3 and Louisville with 2.
Tyrone Corbin hits again. It's 40-34. 10 points for Corbin.
If you win 30 games, Dick, you pretty much got to go to the Final Four.
Inside to Copa over Comiche's. And a foul on Dwayne Johnson over the top.
Good call. He was on his back. He needed a saddle that time.
4 fouls on Johnson, Marquette's leading scorer.
Watch DJ come from the backside here after this shot's missed.
Dwayne Johnson is fourth. The team fourth.
Excellent call.
So he's in trouble with 4 and goes out of the game, and Terry Reason replaces him. 13:05 left. 4 fouls on Marquette, 2 team fouls on DePaul, second half.
What a luxury to come in with Jackson and Comiche's off the bench. Both excellent scorers. You have to have a 7 or 8 man rotation to win the NCAA.
Comiche's and Copa rode him out with a body.
But Comiche's just extends his body and his arms are so extremely long. It's almost impossible to stop his shot. Watch how he extends his body as his arms go up. He kind of just shoots over you. The arms go way up.
Dallas Comiche's to the line looking for his 5th point. They list him between 6'9" and 6'10" from Roman Catholic High School in Philadelphia.
Had a big game against Loyola, about 30 to 34 points. So 32 points had against Loyola in Chicago.
He has 76 blocks to lead the club, second leading scorer with that 11-point average, and second leading rebounder, 6+. Murata pulls it down for Marquette.
Remarkable. DePaul went in 27 times watching them to recruit him. 27. For a Catholic school, that's an awful lot of times.
Tyrone Corbin giving Murata a bit of a push, has the foul. Maybe someone likes Philadelphia.
No, but normally that budget isn't there, but the budget of DePaul the last 10 years is the new world. You know, national coverage and, you know, Horizon here to seat 16,000, 17,000.
What a change. Indeed, 13 years ago, they were thinking about reducing the program down to Division II status. They had their worst season under Ray Meyer. Joey Meyer was the captain of that team, won only 8 ball games.
And if Mr. Reason gets the ball, it'll probably go up.
Well, there goes Terry Reason into the corner. Now comes back to this side. Oh, it's Murata with a shot, partially blocked by Comachis. Copa with a good rebound.
Good muscle move, strong.
He reminds you of a young Joe Klein with the big red hair and his body build. Klein, the star for Arkansas. Many feel will make the Olympic team. Jackson to Patterson. Stolen by Robert Hall. 2-on-1. Mandy Johnson. Tony Jackson fouls him.
It was over then. Too quick going in there. Should have made it. Good play by Jackson. Stopped an automatic basket. Once Manny gets out in front of you, then you're in trouble.
What's Mandy's real first name? Mandy's the nickname.
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
I don't. If I do, I'd say it.
Charles Mandy Johnson.
All I know, he's very intense, plays real hard. He's injury prone. He has those nagging type injuries, you know, a jammed thumb, a little Charlie horse, and so on.
You said he wears number 20. Maurice Lucas wore that same number for you.
You know, Maurice is one of my favorite guys. I never thought Maurice Lucas was that good. And he ended up going to the NBA. They won the NBA championship. So I owe you an apology, Maurice.
Nobody's perfect, Coach. 11:47 remaining, a 3-point game.
A lot of good old boys around here know the best places to hunt and fish. Places that are hard to get to and get through and get around. That's why they got the original. The Honda ATC. The ATC will get you through water. It'll get you through swamp and mud. The fact is, the ATC works so good down here. There's a story going around that Mr. Honda used to live on the bayou. Everybody knows he lived up by Shreveport. Oh.
The beauty of a Delta faucet is, when it's on, it's on. And when it's off, it's off. Its washerless design helps keep it from dripping, so it lasts and lasts and lasts. Delta faucet. We're first because we last.
11:47 remaining. DePaul in a commanding lead at halftime, 13 points, finding Marquette rallying. It's 41-38 at the moment. Plenty of time remaining. The Horizon sold out for the 5th time this year, and there's the lady of Ray Meyer's life, Marge. She, for the last 45 years, every morning she puts out his wardrobe on the bed, and once again that tradition today. And boy, she has him in his light, almost summer-like whites with a pastel colors, a purple handkerchief, purple shirt. Rather dapper indeed. He said,
remember at practice yesterday, Dick, he had that tape from another network, and he wanted to see the half-hour show. You know, he's enjoying it so much. That's what I like about him.
Yeah.
He doesn't hide his emotions.
Well, he's honest with a capital H, and I guess that's why he's so endearing to so many. Patterson with the ball.
You'll never see it again, folks. A man 70 years of age, coaching Division I with a heavyweight club. Zone got more active on Marquette.
Kamaji's hit the side of the board and then hit the side of Reason's head, and Corbin takes it off. Murata rebounds for Marquette.
Ever-present Murata.
10 rebounds for Murata, the senior from Pittsburgh Central Catholic, where Dan Marino was a teammate a year ahead of him, the Miami Dolphins' great quarterback. Reason. Back to Reason, that's his shot. Very short. Copa saves. Out to Mandy Johnson.
I like the set that Marquette has now with the two small guards, Paul and Johnson. A more balanced club. More quickness.
Can you get by today with 2 6-foot guards the way they post up?
It's all according to what your baseline is. If you have Kentucky's baseline, you can get by with 2 6-foot guards. The arrows pointing towards DePaul.
On the held ball, it's DePaul against the Pumpkin.
Replacing Jackson.
Dick Glass already, number 45 back in for Marquette, replaces Copa.
Copa's a little tired, needed a blow.
And Kenny Patterson is running the game again in for Tony Jackson for DePaul.
2-3 zone. McMillan can get the shot at the top of the key if he wants it. Right there if he wants it.
Don't you think Patterson has to be more of a threat to score from outside if he's really going to keep those zones honest?
Well, he seems just to want to be either the quarterback or a scorer. In certain games, you come out and watch him, and he gets 20-some-odd points, and he does a lot of fancy things with the ball. And other times, he just sets up and plays a coach's game.
Mandy Johnson got that last rebound, trips over the leg of Patterson, and it's a turnover to DePaul. Final in the other half of the Atlantic Coast Conference Tournament. Maryland with a 2-point squeaker over Wake Forest, so it'll be Maryland against Duke tomorrow, and we'll have it for you right here on NBC Sports as part of our championship weekend. Duke was a 2-point upset winner over North Carolina earlier.
Congratulations, Lefty. Maybe you'll win your first conference tournament. That'd be a nice present for you. But Duke is on to come.
Yeah, we're going to have to spend our flight down to Greensboro practicing the coach's name. Jerry McMillan hits for DePaul, 43-38. What are you going to call him, Mike?
No, Coach K.
Coach K. He'll probably accept anything after that big win today.
Well, he almost beat them before. It's 3 overtimes. There's reason.
That was out of reason.
Well, varicose veins in the arm.
5-point DePaul lead. And a foul on Mandy Johnson of Marquette. It was because of his hustle.
32, Kerry Trotter, the other lineup.
Check that, it was Hall. I'm sorry, they built so much alike, and both with a 0 on their number. It was Hall, Robert Hall, the hat man. He's got 15, 20 different hats he likes to wear. He sported a rather dapper one. I'd like to see you get one of those, kind of like Dr. Livingston, I presume. Chapeau.
Robert Hall, when I was growing up, we used to buy suits there. My mother let us buy a suit as long as we got 2 pair of pants with the suit. And then I'd burn a hole in the jacket.
5-point lead for DePaul. 5 minutes and 10 seconds left in this second half. Good pressure.
Yep, it's aggressive because you got quicker guys in now. On the front line.
Corbin off the side of the board. And a foul reaching in, Robert Hall. That'll put DePaul in the 1-1.
Wishes they had a little bit more of a lead here, Dick.
She says she's looking forward to the tournament ending and hoping for the best. And then they have plans made to go to Europe, and they're going to have an audience with the Pope. They're going to visit the Vatican sometime late in April, early May. At the line is Embry with just 2 points. Averaging only 4.8 a game, but his work is done on the boards as a rebounder, 5.5 boards a game.
Now you look at this, guys, around 6, 8.5. I'm at practice yesterday. I went back to make a phone call, and he came into this little room, and he says, "What do you mean, Coach, calling us a donut team, nothing in the middle?" I said, "I'm only kidding."
Ooh, almost a turnover. Lazzaretti to Trotter. Foul on Trotter, but that was McMillan with really some acting. I don't think think there was much contact.
Not a good call. That was the only bad call so far today, in my opinion. It just was again, we call it a touch or a tickle call. It was more acting, an Emmy. Eventually, what we're going to have to do in basketball, Dick, with these charging fouls, if it's not a charge, you've got to give a foul to the guy for acting.
Just like they do in football for the punters for overacting, and they finally put a rule in college football.
Yeah, eventually you're going to have to do it, because otherwise there's no penalty for going through an Elmer Gantry. Don't ask me what an Elmer Gantry is, will you please?
I'll call Bobby Knight. He'll tell me.
Bobby Knight. First time he met Ray Meyer was 1962. He was assistant coach at West Point. He was at a practice watching the pros play, and he asked Ray Meyer, how do you get to the airport? What's the best way to the airport? And Ray says, I'll take you the best way with me.
Bobby Knight, who has to be happy for his protege, Mike Krzyzewski. Tyrone Corbin. And Corbin shooting is now knocked Marquette back by 9. 12 points for Corbin.
With Dwayne Johnson back in, Rick Majerus knows he has to go down with his ace.
Johnson playing with 4 fouls. There's Murata.
Too much acting.
McMillan holding. For the on McMillan. But speaking of Bobby Knight, I know that you're going to involve him in some way in your special. That special, I think it's on April 1st, as I recall. Is it April 1st that you're going to be on with a 1-hour NCAA special?
You sound like Johnny Carson.
Well, that's how you wrote it. You wrote it out here.
I have a 1-hour special on Sunday in Seattle, and we tell you who's going to win the NCAA the next day. We also have Bobby Knight on. I am going to tell you what 12 players I believe will make the Olympic team. We got an all-class team. It's a nice habit. I hope the affiliates pick it up. They give me a pain in the neck. And I want Buffalo because my mother wants to see the show. My mother lives in East Aurora, right below Buffalo.
Murata off to Johnson, or Trotter it is, and he misses everything. Corbin the other way. That's been his shot. Rebound of Robert Hall.
Numbers are right.
He takes it all the way himself and makes a fancy shot.
Oh, the junior college transfer showed me something.
47-40 with 7:15 left. Hall, who went to Central Arizona Junior College just outside of Phoenix for a couple of years and averaged 15 points a game.
2-3 zone.
Addison, line drive.
Clothesline. One of the better ball players in the country.
You really do like him. He's your kind of player.
He's a ball. There's no doubt about it.
Out of junior, he returns.
Out of Forest Hills, New York. Made that big shot against St. Francis.
Murata left alone. Gets his own rebound and a heady play, as it would figure from the Phi Beta Kappa, as he wraps it off one of the DePaul players before he fell out of bounds. So Murata keeps it in the hands of Marquette, but DePaul enjoying a 9-point lead with 6:35 remaining.
This camping trip was a good idea. Yeah, it sure is relaxing. Peaceful. Groovy. Groovy? Kind of dark, though. Man, I'm getting thirsty. Yeah, let's have another light beer from Miller. Light filling! Let's What was that? The creature. What creature? Well, legend has it that a horrible thing stalks these woods.
Oh, Mickey!
And it comes out when the moon is full. What does this creature look like? It walks on 2 legs, but it isn't human. It's got big eyes that bulge out and... It's the creature! Hey, guys, where you going? Hey, guys, where are the marshmallows?
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Come on, it's after us! Man, did you see that thing?
It's his kind of town, Chicago. Born here in 13. Member of the City High School Championship team in 32. Notre Dame captain 2 years. Married Marge. Then became DePaul's head coach in 42. With number 99, the great George Mikan won the NIT. In those days, the NIT championship was the tournament to win, not the NCAA, with
With apologies to the National Collegiate Athletic Association, that was the championship, 79. Well, what isn't there is 1970-71, when his team won only 8 games, and there really was serious thought about reducing the program down to Division II. Joey Meyer, as an assistant, became an outstanding recruiter, and it was his recruiting efforts, son for father, that really has built the program back to what it is today.
First guy that made a turn was at Corzine, then on to Aguirre and Cummings, and the beat goes on. They got a good roll going now. I doubt whether it will slip in the next 5, 6, 7 years.
Marquette trailing 49-40 with the ball.
And they got 2 of the last Mohicans out there. There's very few independent schools left throughout the country. They're all in conferences.
And even those independents have formed a round-robin fair for next year. We'll tell you about that. Dwayne Johnson takes it to the hole, and it's good.
That's the guy that got to get going. A little bit over 6 minutes to go. But the Warriors expect to win this ball game and get a clear-cut invitation to the NIT.
First foul on Embry. Well, I'll tell you about that while we have this moment. Next year, the athletic directors at Marquette, Dayton, Notre Dame, and DePaul have gotten together. They'll play a round-robin. Those 4 Catholic independents will play home and home.
Well, it's the Vatican Championship.
49-43, a 6-point lead, and 10 points for the leading scorer of the Warriors, Dwayne Johnson. Making 11 now. McMillan. Embry back to McMillan. 6 minutes exactly left.
Going more to man-to-man. That's where Kenny Patterson shines.
This is where you might see the taller DePaul guards try to post up down low. Patterson working on Hall, almost threw it away. Good save by Corbin into Embry. Holmes is fouled.
Nice pass by Embry that time. Mark Murata had no alternative but to foul him.
Murata's third. I want to credit these fine young men who have made the 5 academic All-America team this year. Murata being one from Marquette. Devin Durant, the great scorer at BYU. Tim Dillon of Northern Illinois. Terry Gannon from North Carolina State. And Danny Tarkanian, University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Congratulations to those young men, outstanding athletes and All-Americans academically.
You like that, Dick, but you're a doctor.
I really do. I just think you've got to applaud those who achieve academically and athletically, because it's a tough haul. I mean, it's tough enough to be an athlete and still do all your schoolwork as well. They're special.
I was the captain of the old copying team. I had notes inside my belt, under my tie, under my wristwatch.
50-43 the score. 5:33 left. I'd have caught you. Johnson comes back to make it 50-45, and he suddenly looks as if he wants the ball.
You get him the ball, he can do it. He's about the only guy out there that can do it with consistency. Mark Murata's more of like a hard hat, blue collar, lunch pail type of player, where DJ is a God-given athlete. Nice move by Kenny Patterson that time.
Corbin. Tyrone Corbin again in the clutch. He comes through, 52-45. Corbin with 14, that's his average.
These young people out there, as a freshman at DePaul, he couldn't shoot from the outside. He worked on it for the last 2 years. He's dynamite.
Corbin with a rebound. You know who he reminds me of? It's the same story as Lorenzo Charles, North Carolina State, who couldn't shoot. He's made himself a better ball player. Now is an outstanding all-around player, Charles a la Corbin.
You young people, work on your game.
Embry scores, and he's fouled by Murata.
Embry takes it right at you every time. He wears you down. Unbelievable strength. He can take on 2 or 3 guys and go right up between them.
That's a 4th foul on Murata.
Watch Corbin's rebound here. He clears it violently down. Now we'll go down to Embry's basket. He's constantly going towards the iron. Murata caught him. Didn't affect his shot. Ends up with a lot of 3-point plays. This time he gets 2 shots.
Cookie man.
In a 1-on-1.
Going for his, well, that's a 3-point play. Got the basket. This is the free throw, but the rebound by Holmes. Blocked by Copa, but it goes to Corbin. Knocked away, and it's Murata. A 9-point lead to Paul. Murata all the way.
Wow. Oh, Murata, you look like a point guard that time.
11 points to match his 11 rebounds for Mark Marotta.
If I didn't know him better, I'd be called this French pastry.
Go, Marty. Foul is on Anderson, his second. You understand, Coach, that here in the middle of March, snow is falling outside the horizon.
That's because of Lake Michigan. We have an awful lot of snow off there.
Whoops.
Stay in there. Stay with it, gang. Dive for the ball. That's what they do in college.
It goes for Marquette. In that scramble, I don't know if we got it, one of the DePaul players had a Marquette head in his hands. He thought he had a jump ball. The ball was rolling away, and he had a hammer lock.
That's the difference between college and pro. And I'm not knocking the pros. They're great, great players. Sometimes your eyes get tired from their efficiency. But the college kids, they find themselves on the court.
Your eyes get tired from efficiency.
Yes. Now and then I come up with something. Not too often.
That's nice. I like that.
Anything possessed cannot quite be possessed.
4:15 left.
Enough's enough, huh?
54-47. It's a big opportunity for Marquette to get within 5. Stolen by McMillan. This crowd so very eager to cheer a final win at home for Ray Meyer.
Ray has 2 timeouts left. Marquette has 3. Both teams are in a 1-1.
Kevin Holmes and a holding foul on Mandy Johnson of Marquette. His second. I'd like to share again, you told it before, when you were coaching against Ray Meyer in the old gyms that were so paper thin that you actually could hear his halftime talk when he'd yell, and then he'd quit, and then you'd yell, and he'd hear everything you'd say. Is that right?
Yeah, what we used to do in the games, Ray Meyer's, he has this grandfather image. He's a perfect gentleman, and I think the greatness of Ray Meyer is that he's a humble winner and maybe a good loser in certain times. But when the game's on, Ray Meyer is strictly a coach. Ray Meyer is strictly a barracuda. He's out there to win. It's important to win because they're keeping score. But at halftime, what we do, he'd be yelling so much I had to wait till he finished. Then I would start. I'd bang on the wall and say, "It's my time to get onto my ball players." I've had a great 13 years competing against him. A lot of memories.
Kevin Holmes, who had a big first half, that's only his 3rd point of the second half, but it's DePaul back on top by 9 with 3 minutes and 32 seconds left.
Chevrolet is taking charge with the year-round versatility of S10 Blazer. In spring, Blazer's right on the job or on the town. In summer, Blazer lets you get to work or get away. In fall, Blazer's ready for the chores or for the fun. In winter, Blazers are great outdoor sport. Chevy S10 Blazer. Every season, you'll find more reasons to own one. No wonder S10 Blazer's the best-selling sport utility vehicle in America.
The Denerex Dandruff Shampoo difference.
On this side, I feel a tingling sensation, and there's no tingling on this side.
Look what you used.
I can't believe it. Selsun Blue has been my old standby. I've never had this feeling of working sensation as I had with the Denerex.
Each shampoo has one medicine for dandruff. Only Denerex adds extra anti-itch medicine many dermatologists recommend.
I'm not even going to look for anything else. I'm going straight for Denerex.
Denerex shampoo or shampoo and conditioner fights dandruff and its itch with an extra relief medicine.
Will the real Jerry Lewis please fall down? The king of craziness joins Joe and Eddie.
You awesome, Jerry Lewis.
On Saturday Night Live.
Boy, what a thrill today to be standing side by side, Ray Meyer and John Wooden. Almost 1,400 wins between them, and then you joined us. There was 3 of us there. That's a package of victories in college basketball, and you and Wooden closing out your coaching careers with a national championship, trying to give Ray Meyer good luck in Seattle. Maybe he can pull it off, too.
Well, what's going to happen as the NCAA goes on and teams lose, they'll pick up the DePaul banner. And I think if the sun shines on Ray, allows them to buy a raincoat, go up there with the Salmon and Mount Rainier and so forth, and tar ferries, I think you'll have probably the biggest TV audience in the history of college basketball because of each one of those 48 or 49 teams that have lost getting there will all of a sudden become a DePaul fan.
Hey, don't use all your good stuff up now. April 1st is when you want to save that poetry. April 1st.
Oh, April 1st. That's right. The hour special on NBC.
Here comes Robert Hall, 56-47, DePaul by 9. 3:23 left. We understand we have some fans ready to pop some champagne corks in the crowd as soon as they think that this one is in the bank for DePaul.
It's too soon yet. A lot of time left. DePaul made a smart move, went to a 2-3 zone, make Marquette shoot from the outside. Going to have to put it up from the outside, gang. There it is.
Robert Hall is short, gets it back. And a trip on Patterson. Let's pause 5 seconds for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
Wave TV Channel 3, Louisville.
That's a 17 foul on DePaul, and so Marquette at the line. Dick Enberg with Al McGuire. We're at the horizon in Rosemont, Illinois. Ray Meyer Day, his final home game. His DePaul Blue Demons trying to present him with his 26th win of the year against only 2 defeats, and they lead by 9 with 3 minutes left. A final. Oregon State beats UCLA by 5, 70-65.
That was a tough foul shot to miss at that time. They could have closed it down to 7 points.
Foul is on Mandy Johnson, I believe. Well, that loss by UCLA at Oregon State probably takes away the Bruins' hopes of making the NCAA. They'll be going for an NIT bid. A win there would have opened the doors, perhaps, for a possible NCAA bid.
I'm wondering if UCLA's pride isn't too big to take an NIT bid. And I'd hate to see an NCAA without it. I like Coach Farmer. I like their program out there. But everyone has to be realistic. After X amount of years, you're going to have a drought. That's what sport's all about.
Corbin's 15th point. He's our most valuable player. Chevrolet will award a $1,000 scholarship to DePaul's General Scholarship Fund in the name of Tyrone Corbin. And Mark Murata left his mark both athletically and academically at Marquette University. Most valuable player for the Warriors. A plaque commemorating their play today will be presented to the athletes. $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund from Chevrolet for both Marquette and DePaul. Dwayne Johnson not there. Corbin loses it out of bounds.
You got to have outside shooters. Maybe Reason should be in there at this particular time because you know DePaul's going to stay in the tight zones. Got to score every time down to catch this game at the wire.
I have a heavy question for you when we get a moment here. I want you to think about it. Murata hits 58-49 to score. Where do you think DePaul will wind up in the NCAA? Obviously, they're going to get a bid. In what region do you think they'll play?
I don't think they'll play in this region because Kentucky, if Kentucky wins this conference, which I think it did, its postseason conference, Kentucky has the regional down in Lexington. So I think they'll put DePaul in the Midwest or the Far West, probably the Far West. Don't ask me why, I just think that.
58-49. 2 minutes left. Kentucky beat Auburn today 51-49. Kenny Skywalker with a shot in the final seconds. So Kentucky has won both the regular season and the tournament in the Southeastern Conference.
Well, I think everyone knows, Dick. I've picked Kentucky. Everyone that watches us, I picked Kentucky to win the NCAA or at least get to the Final Four.
And tomorrow, of course, we'll have the ACC Championship, Duke and Maryland. Right now, a timeout, 1:52 left.
Here comes the hottest selling Chevrolet today. The fun-to-drive front-drive Cavalier. Fire up 2 liters of electronically fuel-injected fun and experience more horsepower than the top 3 imports. The minute you feel Cavalier perform, you'll know what makes Cavalier the hottest selling Chevrolet today. Chevrolet! And you. Taking charge.
I'd like to do some investing, but I don't think I have enough money to get a good broker.
Dean Witter understands that any money you're investing is a lot of money to you, so you can be sure they'll care, no matter who you are or how much you have. That's how the Sears Financial Network does business. Visit any Sears Financial Network.
A touch of the effervescence, the bubbly, being enjoyed by some of the DePaul fans, with the home team Demons up by 9 and 1 minute 52 seconds left. They led by 13, did DePaul, at the half, but Marquette rallied within 2 at 36-34, but could never regain the lead, and DePaul, led by the shooting of Tyrone Corbin, has pulled back out to a 9-point advantage. Corbin was 16, Holmes with 15 to lead DePaul, and Mark Murata has 13 with 12 rebounds. The MVP for Marquette today. Jerry McMillan at the line. That could hurt him in the tournament. The fact that they're not a good free throw shooting team, and I know that is really badgering Ray Meyer. It worries him to death.
Called a two-shot foul that time. That's to stop any type of roughness. Ball, I think, pushed Patterson off the ball. Now, if you're going to steal the ball, normally the ball is 1-on-1. But any foul off the ball is an intentional foul, and they give you a two-shot foul.
Well, they fouled Patterson intentionally because he is a 57% free throw shooter. Here's a man handling the ball in a close game. You want him to be able to be a 70-80% shooter, but he's only 57.6 this year.
Lack of concentration when you get in the foul line.
His first attempt today.
Now, there's that two-shot foul, which you call an intentional foul. That's why he's getting a second shot now.
Boy, under the hawk eyes of Ray Meyer. He wants those to go down. .49, 7 points for Patterson.
Marquette scores. They'll probably call a timeout. They got 2 left. They can't take too much time against this zone.
Copa has it knocked away by Embry. Corbin can't save.
Very physical baseline. Embry, Holmes, Corbin. Black and blue baseline.
Hall has it knocked out of bounds as he went for the scoop. 1:30 remaining.
Dwayne will pop out in the corner.
Andy Johnson not there, but Holmes is for DePaul.
And the game should be over.
1:18 left.
Yep.
Holmes, Embry, Johnson, Hall. Robert Hall brings it down. Stolen by McMillan. And then he throws it away. What did it against to touch the Marquette leg on the way?
He ricocheted that one off ball that time. Quick thinking.
What did Ray say?
All Ray wants is the clock to move. He doesn't want anybody to score anymore. Just move the clock or put us on a foul line, one or the other.
We got enough points, he said.
We got enough points. We don't need any more. Now, he'd like to get a two-shot foul on that, but the reason it wasn't called a two-shot foul is because the ball was there. Then it's a 1-and-1. McMillan's very close to the coach. McMillan's so proud of his last year. He's co-captain of Ray Meyer's last year.
Tomorrow, ACC Championship, Duke and Maryland, or the Southwest Conference Championship, 2 o'clock Eastern Time here on NBC. 60-49 as Patterson now has 8 points. DePaul now hitting 67% in this game from the line, 12 for 18. A minute to go. And traveling on Robert Hall. He got in those sequoias and couldn't get out of the way of some of the tree trunks.
It's what they call red trees in there.
Now the crowd acknowledging that this is going to be a win for Meyer in his final home game. They're on their feet. Ray McCoy, a senior, will come in as Meyer giving him a chance to take a bow.
Ray McCoy, out of high school, Dick, was rated the same level as Isaiah Thomas. He went to San Francisco, put a little weight on. He came back to DePaul here. He ate humble pie. He's been an excellent citizen for 4 years. Made 2 or 4 good foul shots against Notre Dame when they beat him down there at South Bend. There he is, up.
Foul on Copa. No basket, as McCoy denied the foul was earlier by Copa, his second. Now the crowd wants the other senior to see some duty, 44, Jack Lattner, a walk-on. But thus far, Ray Meyer has not made that move to the bench. Now he looks down the line, and Lattner, the last man on the bench.
Come on, Ray, put him in.
Kevin Holmes looking for his 16th point.
Heisman, a winner in 1953, right?
Jack Lattner of Notre Dame, halfback. Johnny Lattner's son, Jack, and he said what's given Johnny Lattner said, you know, I've had all the notoriety with the Heisman and all. It's nice in Chicago to hear people say and introduce me as Jack Lattner's father.
He started off at Loras College, I think, in Iowa, and which is a Division II, Division III school. Got injured, then he came on to DePaul, became a walk-on.
Biggest lead of the game for DePaul. Dwayne Johnson, Copa, and out of bounds to DePaul. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Michael Weissman. Coordinating producer, NBC Basketball, George Finkel. Telecast today produced by Kenneth Edmondson. Foul on Murata for charging. That will be his 5th foul. He leaves with 13 points. Here comes Lattner. Well, that big roar went up when I said the producer's name was Kenneth Edmondson. He can tell everyone that was for him. Directed by Andy Rosenberg. Bruce Bergquist was our technical director. Associate Director Brian Ornstein. Feature producer David Neal. As the celebration begins, as it started here in Illinois today. Lawrence West is also in for DePaul. Corbin goes out. 35 seconds left. Lattner, and it goes off the hands of Marquette's Johnson. Ray Meyer will be 26-2 in his farewell season. 5 wins more, 5 more. He'll take just 3 more to get to the Final Four.
He'll take just 1 more. That first round has been an albatross around their neck. Last year they went to the NIT. 3 years before that they lost in the first round when they were rated in the top 10 in the country. So that first game, all of the Windy City will be holding their breath.
At the line, Raymond McCoy, who scored only 28 points all year. Herb Harrison is in the game for the Marquette Warriors for the first time. Number 43, a freshman. Placing Murata.
Well, Ray, that's it for Chicago.
You see the other scores today. Illinois, how about the state of Illinois? They've got DePaul, they've got Illinois, they've got Illinois State. Just as they had some great success in football with the University of Illinois, Southern Illinois, Augustana. They've got a championship year for people that say they're Illini.
It's the first time the Illini have beaten everyone in football and everyone in basketball in 1 year in the Big Ten.
Copa, and it's kicked out of bounds by Lattner.
Well, as I was saying, Ray, it's a beautiful run. You're not retiring, you're just changing direction.
Copa gets the rebound of Harrison's miss. Hall takes it up the lane. Hall gets his own rebound. Dwayne Johnson. And the ball game is over. The scoreboard simply says DePaul 64, Marquette 49. Thank you, Coach.
tribute.
Wish me luck the same to